Night at Menlo Park. The lamps are low, the air smells like hot metal and varnish, and a thin man in a buckskin vest bends over a workbench, eyes glowing the way his lamp refuses to. Thomas Edison is not smiling. He is counting another trial, another change, another note in a lab book that will outlast bruised fingers and burned filaments. People later call him a genius. Tonight, he is just a man refusing to stop. According to Napoleon Hill, this is the law of persistence in motion, not motivational posters. Method. Edison didn't get lucky. He built a system that made quitting harder than continuing. Watch the pieces. First, a definite aim. He did not say, "Someday, I'll make better light." He said, in effect, build a safe, practical, affordable electric lamp that can run on a centralized power system for ordinary homes. Specific enough to measure, narrow enough to attack. Every night at Menlo Park. That sentence silently judged the next experiment. Does this get us closer to a household bulb or just to a lab trick? Second, organized planning. The lab wasn't chaos. It was a factory of trials. Materials labeled, variables isolated, notes meticulous. When a test failed, it went into the book with the same care as a success. If it burned out fast, they recorded time to failure. If the glass blackened, they logged the vacuum level. Failure was not a feeling, it was a data point. Third, a mastermind. Edison didn't work alone. He pulled in sharp minds, argued, delegated, and let rivals sharpen his edges. Each person focused on a slice. Filaments, vacuum pumps, power distribution, sockets. Pride took a back seat to progress. Hill called this the multiplier effect. Brains aligned on one aim, compress time. Fourth, decision. When a direction proved wrong, Edison did not stall a maybe. He cut cleanly. The team closed options quickly so they could move. No romance with pet ideas. No sunk cost drama. Fifth, persistence. The quiet spine under everything. Edison's famous line says, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." People repeat it for inspiration. He used it as operating logic. The lamp did not owe him success because he was smart. It owed him nothing. He would earn it by out-testing, out-learning, and outlasting. Hold that picture as we translate it to your life. You don't need a lab or investors. You need a clear aim, a small cycle, and a refusal to let emotions define the data. Start with aim. Write one sentence that names the who, what, and when of your lamp. Keep it playing. By March 31st, I will publish 8 legacy lessons that teach one tool viewers can use that day. Or by June 30th, I will ship a simple, useful course that helps beginners write one KQL query a day. If your sentence can't survive a hallway repeat, it won't survive a hard week. Move to planning. Build an Edison Board, a one-page tracker for experiments, not feelings. 4 columns. Hypothesis change, I'll test result, fact, next move. For content, a hypothesis might be a curiosity first hook lifts retention in the first 30 seconds. Change. Open with a vivid scene and a one-line promise. Result. Retention from midnight to 0:30 rose from 62% to 71%. Next move, keep scene, tighten promise line. You're no longer guessing. You're running trials. Add your mastermind. 2 people is enough. Meet weekly for 30 minutes. 1 win, 1 failure turned to data. 1 next experiment. No gossip. No vague praise. Specific notes only. Edison's crew made ideas hard to kill by forcing them into the light. Do the same. Decide faster. He'll notice that successful people decided quickly and changed slowly. Unsuccessful people decided slowly and changed quickly. Borrow a rule. If a test shows no signal after 2 cycles, cut it. If a test shows promise twice in a row, double down. Decision removes drag. Now the part that actually carries you. Persistence you can feel. Not grit as a mood, but grit as a loop. Here's the Edison persistence loop you can install tonight. Define the risk, do debrief, double back. Define the smallest test that would teach you something real. De-risk it by removing 1 point of friction, prep the assets, script the hook, clear the desk. Do it on schedule, not when you feel like it. Debrief with facts, not shame. Double back to run the next test immediately while the lesson is still warm. If you want a simpler name, call it one more turn. Each time you're tempted to quit, you take one more turn of the handle, one more experiment, one more draft, one more reach out. This is not mindless repetition. It is informed repetition. Edison didn't keep twisting the same knob. He changed the material, the shape, the vacuum, the current. Always one variable at a time. Always with notes. Picture a hard night. Your script reads flat. The thumbnail looks dull, and your energy is thin. Instead of spiraling, you switch to Menlo mode. One change, one cycle, one upload, even if smaller than planned. Reduce the scope, stick to the schedule. You ship a 90-second insight with a stronger hook, log the result, and go to bed. The chain stays unbroken. Tomorrow, you run another turn. This is how identities are poured in bronze, not ink. Let's zoom in on the inner game because it decides whether you actually run the loop. Edison didn't teach himself to love failure. He taught himself to love finding out. Curiosity beats pride. Trade, I must be right for I must learn faster. When you attach curiosity to the routine, you stop treating outcomes as verdicts on your worth and start reading them as instructions for your next move. Also, manage energy the way he managed materials. Sleep is a variable. Light is a variable. Food, walk, social inputs, variables. A tired brain calls a bad experiment a bad self. Do not let exhaustion write your story. 10 minutes of recovery can turn a fake failure into a solvable problem. Now, build the Menlo Sprint for your next 2 weeks. It's short, repeatable, and ruthless in a good way. Tonight, write your aim sentence and tape it above your desk. Create a 1-page Edison board. Choose 2 upload days or 2 build blocks per week. Lay out your tools so the good action is the easy action. Tell one person your schedule. Day 1. Run a micro test on your hook. Open with a scene. Deliver a 1-line promise. Cut the throat clearing. Ship something small. Log retention from midnight to 0:30. Day 3. Test a thumbnail change, bolder copy, less than or equal to 4 words. Lower third placement. Your cinematic blueprint fusion grade intact. Log click-through rate. Day 5. Test a CTA. Invite viewers to comment one actionable move they'll try tonight. Log comments per 100 views. Day 7. Consolidate what worked into a mini standard. Keep it for the next 2 uploads. Week 2. Repeat the cycle with 1 new variable each time. Title format. Story pacing. On-camera energy. If life squeezes you, shrink the scope, not the cadence. The scoreboard is cycles completed, not feelings felt. Along the way, protect your belief the way Edison protected his lab. Belief does not mean I know this will work. Belief means I will keep testing until something does. When a trial flops, say out loud, good information. That tiny sentence cuts the shame loop and lets you move. If you need a mantra for your wall, steal this pair. Evidence beats ego. 1 more turn. Remember, the public only sees the patent. They rarely see the pages of scrap that made it possible. He'll get access to both. He walked the late-night corridors, saw the burned fingers and the dog-eared logs, and then wrote a law anyone could use. Persistence is practical faith. It's faith proven by motion. Bring it home. What is your lamp? Who does it help? Buy when? Write it. What is your next turn? Name it. When will you take it? Schedule it. What will you log? Decide it. Who will hold you to it? Invite them, then act. Not dramatically, decisively. Open the doc. Write the first true sentence. Record the first clean take. Export. Upload. Mark the box. Debrief in 1 minute. Sleep. Tomorrow do it again, and again, and again, until the night comes when someone else looks at your work and says genius. And you smile because you know the real word is persistence. Your legacy lesson is simple. Keep the aim visible, keep the loop small, keep the schedule sacred, keep your notes honest, and keep turning the handle. When it gets hard, especially when it gets hard, take 1 more turn. That's the night the light usually comes on.